Good morning, everybody. This is Melody Reels at the Iowa Quilt Museum here in Winterset, Iowa. It is Thursday morning, 9:03 a.m. I'm just running a tad behind, so I apologize for that. I make the mistake of sitting behind my desk and looking at emails, and then the next thing I know, it's 9 a.m. I gotta stop doing that. Again, good morning. Melody Reels, Iowa Quilt Museum, Winterset, Iowa. We are talking about Tiny Pieces, Vast Visions. That is our current exhibit. We have some wonderful works by some wonderful ladies, and 4 ladies to be exact. There is Deb Cachat, Susan Lapham, Neerja Lorenz, and Irene Roderick, and we're gonna do Irene's last 2 quilts today. Each woman has 6 quilts in here. I have talked about 4 of Irene's, and we're gonna talk about her last 2 because I'm running out of time. And then next week, we'll talk about 2 of Deb's and 2 of Susan's and wrap them up. And then the following week, we'll do a whole recap because then on August 3rd, this is the last day for this exhibit, so you have a little bit more time if you haven't made it down, and if you wanted to, you have till August 3rd. August 4th, we're technically closed as we are putting up the new exhibit. If you are in town that day, you are welcome to walk in. The door is unlocked, and you can take a look and see what we have coming up. And then August 5th, we will have our new exhibit. It is Mama's Got the Blues. They're 19th century indigo blue quilts from 19th century indigo quilts. They're a private collection that we're getting from out of California from Julie Silber. And so we are doing a 180 from what we've had in here. This exhibit's been very colorful, very modern, very fun. And we are going to a traditional blue and white hand quilted quilt, and it is just going to be very exquisite, and that's exciting. So but anyway, Tiny Pieces, Vast Vision. You can buy their book on our line, on our you just go to our website, iowaquiltsmuseum.org, and go to shop, and we have the book on there, as well as some note cards and some magnets from some of the quilts that are here. We're going to talk about Irene. This is a great little book. It talks about how they met, and then it talks about them individually, and then it talks about their quilts in their exhibit. And so it's a great little treasure. If you have visited and you'd like to pick up a book, you can still get one and on their shop. We're going to talk about Irene. Let me put my glasses on. She, if you don't remember, we've only talked to her. Well, we've talked about her at least 4 other times. Maybe 3 other times. Says, my artwork is currently grounded in textile arts focused on quilt making, on fabric and fabric dyeing. I am trained as a painter, and I have always been interested in pattern and color and how these elements can evoke emotions and political responses. A few years ago, I encountered modern quilting and loved the idea of making a utilitarian painting. I learned to quilt and accidentally discovered dang it, that word tripped me up last time. Improvisational. I can't read it and say it at the same time. My brain, it doesn't, anyway. Improv quilting. She learned about improv. She discovered improv quilting, let's just say that. An intuitive, spontaneous process I call dancing with the wall. The technique opened up a newfound creativity for me. This work is entirely intuitive and visceral. So let's take a look at, let's flip you around so you can see what I'm talking about. This is Irene Roderick's. She pieced it and quilted it. Dimensions are 88 by 78. This is Conversations. She doesn't give me a lot on quilt stories. It just says quilt story conversation. This is the first in a series based on human interaction and how our body languages expresses our feelings. There you go. How our body language expresses our feelings. So now those look like eyes to me when I see that. So, her stuff is really abstract, and we get so many different comments of what people think things look like. This and the other one I'm going to show you, they're the most bold and colorful quilts in here. It's unfortunate this one's kind of hiding in a cove here, but the other one's on the featured wall that we're going to take a look at today. But this, when I say it's a conversation, is the first series based in human interaction, how our body language expresses our feelings. This almost looks like it's turned away. They're turned away from each other. And this person's peeking in like, what's going on? That's what I see. If you take what she says, that's my interpretation. Wow, just big, bold colors. Let's take you down and take a closer look. Let's come over here. I just realized this is navy. We have talked about our quilting. It's so intentional. It goes with each block that she pieces in here. I should say piece more than block. It curves with the piece. I love even this here. She's got like, it doesn't just curve, but she's got little shapes in here as well. The intentional of not quilting certain pieces, these thinner, smaller pieces in here. And then this isn't just one piece of fabric. This is pieced as well, and you can see the different shades that she has in here, especially right in here. The different color thread that you can, I don't know if that shows in the gray, the different color thread in here. It's such a fun and vibrant piece. And when you read what she says, even just the little bit that she does say, look at her quilting. Is, you know, it really becomes thought-provoking, and you just kind of want to sit here in it and take in what she just said, just that little bit, and interpret what you think this piece is, what you see. I love these pieces down here. We originally had this on the feature wall, but with this gray border, it kind of just, it didn't pop as much as the other, so it got moved away. But again, conversations. Conversation is the first in the series based on human interaction and how the body language expresses our feelings. I live on the edges too, like it's not a straight line. And usually, not usually, but it seems to be that where she pieces is where she kind of has it kind of come in and out. It has a little wave to it. This little curve in here, and it kind of comes in, pops back out right here, and then goes back in up at the top. It was a challenge to hang. We're like, we got this right? Just in the fact that it was level. Look at, oh, I don't know if you could see that in the camera, but this is some dark stitching, and then she has some light stitching. So it gives this tonal and this depth. Same in the purple here too. Everything's so, from the stitching to the thread choices to the piecing, has movement and emotion and feeling. Body language expresses our feelings. How our body language expresses our feelings. All right. Okay, so that's conversation. We're going to go on a road trip. Hold on, everybody. Backing up. And we're going here. We're going to talk about hi, how are you? Next, let's zoom in here. Get a closer look here. And this is on our featured wall. That red and that yellow just really pop off the wall. Even though, you know, we've got the gray borders, there's just something more different about this one that just kind of like stood out. And actually with that red, and you've got the shading of this red over here, it makes it even dimensional. You know those yellows are in the background. Okay, let's read about hi, how are you? Dimensions, 90 inches high and 71 inches wide, pieced and quilted by Irene Roderick. Quilt story, hi, how are you? was part of the conversation series that is based on human interaction, especially as we re-entered the physical world after 2 years of isolation during the pandemic. Some people just felt disconnected and discombobulated, and to come back into interaction with people in society, I think, people felt a little, maybe just a little apprehensive. And some people were thrilled. Some people couldn't wait to get back out. But I think something happened to, I know people that I love dearly that I just have not come out of isolation very well. And so, but it's something, we need that interaction. We need to have that sense of community and how important it is. Wow, look at that purple up there. And it's right up here, this purple up here. I'm curious to know if she dyed that herself because it's got some different tones in there. I was hoping that I would be able to get to interview her, but she is one that got sick. She got sick in January and just has had a hard time recovering. And she wasn't able to come out during the Iowa Quilt Festival. And I've just been staying in touch with her and just making sure she's, doing okay. And she is on the mend. And so we hope for her to continue to be on the mend. Okay, let me zoom you in. Let's take a look. Hi, how are you? Is what it's called. It's kind of fun to hear what kids have to say when they look at this quilt. Because it is abstract and everybody sees something different. You got some red in this orange, red thread in here. This is pieced in here. Got this little speck of yellow, this little spot of purple. Even this red piece in here is pieced together. It's not, they're bigger pieces, but still you've got these little tiny strips. Then you have a smaller piece here. I wish I could go up top. What I really find interesting, I don't know if I can zoom in, can I? Oh, look at that, I can. Is that those orange squares up there. That darker orange behind the lighter orange, giving it some depth and dimension. Is that a building? Is that a head? Is that a window? I don't know. And there's that tonal differences I was telling you about in that purple. So it makes me wonder if she didn't dye that one herself. And I think these in here too, same fabric piece. Her quilting, emphasizing each piece, whether it's the direction of it, highlighting it with different colored thread. It's a lot of fun. Again, very vibrant, quite a statement. That's almost purple. At least it shows up purple on the camera. I love all these little pieces in here too. If you don't remember, she also did Empty Speech is hers as well. So again, that would be, probably part of the conversation series. And then the two flowers, the blue and the black flowers are hers as well. And she started as an abstract painter. And I think that shows in her quilting as well. But very bold. I'm gonna back you up just a little bit. Very fun. I think I zoomed in and I don't wanna try to zoom it out. Again, this is Irene Roderick. You can find her online on ireneroderick.com. She's out of Austin, Texas. I want to show you, I'm going to flip you around because she's got a quilt in this book that the colors are just amazing. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Nope. There it is. Okay, so let me flip you around. Look at this one. Isn't that crazy? It's got an Art Deco feel to it. And I'm also a Sesame Street kid. And it makes me think of the pinball machine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Anyway, it's just so colorful and so amazing. And look at all those pieces and those sharp edges, those crisp lines. So, I mean, this is the same lady that you just saw in that abstract. It's so, she's obviously very talented. But there was what's the other one that we have? Limbo. I really like Limbo. Limbo, you know, when I said Limbo, if you don't remember, these are so vibrant and so colorful. And Limbo is a little more subdued. It's that Caribbean staccato interpretation. She's another music one in here too. Dance in Celery. Anyway, you can buy that online. All right, thanks for joining. I hope you like these quilts. Again, you have till August 3rd. And then I'm gonna back up. I feel like I'm all up in your face. August 3rd is the last day to come see these here in Winterset, Iowa. And then from there, then we're gonna go 180. And on August 5th, we'll open up with blue and white traditional quilts from the 19th century, indigo, beautiful, beautiful, just elegant quilts. And so I'm excited about that as well. We always do, on opening day, we do free coffee and donuts from 6:45 to 9:45. You can grab them on your way to work. If you're here in Winterset, if you're local in Iowa, you can grab a free bag of donuts and a coffee, and you get a sneak peek of the new exhibit, and that'll be on August 5th as well. We have 2 barn quilt classes that are scheduled this set weekend, completely full. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm so excited. We have July 19th and 20th, and so those are full. But if you're like, dang it, I missed it again, we're gonna have classes in September and October, and those are online now. Again, just go to our website and hit shop, and that'll take you to our store online. In fact, Debbie Simpson just logged on. She's the teacher of those classes. I don't know the dates exactly, but I remember I have them. I just don't have them in my head. September and October. You can sign up for more barn quilting classes, painting classes. You pick a design, she's got it all ready for you on the board, and all you have to do is tape and paint. A lot of fun, really easy half day, and she's a lot of fun. You could tell she had to have been a teacher. She's a great gal. Anyway, share your stash sale. We're still taking donations. Squeeze that in real quick. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful Thursday. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting the Iowa Quilt Museum. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week with 4 quilts, and we'll finish off with Deb Kashat and Susan Lapham. All right. Thank you, everybody.